Have you ever wondered where you truly come from? It's a question that's lingered in the back of my mind for as long as I can remember. For years, I was content with the story my adoptive parents told me that I was special, chosen, and loved beyond measure. But after my adoptive mother passed away, that lingering question transformed into a deep, gnawing need to know the truth. I wasn't prepared for the emptiness that her death left behind. She was my rock, the one who tucked me in at night, who bandaged my scraped knees, and who listened patiently to my teenage angst. Without her, I felt adrift, unmoored from the only family I had ever known. It started with a box of old papers I found while cleaning out her attic. A dusty, forgotten box, shoved into a dark corner, filled with faded documents and brittle photographs. Among them was my adoption paperwork, yellowed and frayed at the edges. My hands trembled as I sifted through them, my heart pounding in my chest. There, buried beneath the legal jargon, was a name I never heard before. My birth mother. That name haunted me for days, whispering to me in the dead of night. I tried to ignore it, but the more I pushed it away, the stronger the urge became. I needed to know who she was. Why had she given me up? What circumstances led her to that decision? So, I began my search. It was a slow, painful process, full of dead ends and false leads. I contacted the adoption agency, searched through old records, and hired a private investigator. Weeks turned into months, and just when I was about to give up, the investigator called with a lead. My birth mother was alive, living in a small town a few hours away. The drive to her town was filled with anxiety and a sickening sense of anticipation. I rehearsed what I would say, how I would introduce myself, how I would ask the questions that had plagued me for so long. But nothing could have prepared me for the reality of meeting her. She was older than I imagined, with lines etched deep into her face and eyes that held a lifetime of sadness. When she opened the door and saw me standing there, something unspoken passed between us. Recognition, perhaps, or maybe it was just the weight of what was about to be revealed. She invited me in, and we sat in her small, cluttered living room, the silence between us heavy with unasked questions. Finally, I couldn't hold back any longer. "Why?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "Why did you give me up?" Her answer was a story I wasn't ready to hear. She had been young, just a teenager, when she found out she was pregnant. My father, a man she barely knew, had left town as soon as he heard the news. She had no one to turn to, no one to help her. Her parents were strict, unforgiving, and they gave her an ultimatum: give up the baby or leave the family. Tears streamed down her face as she spoke, and I could see the pain that had never fully healed. She chose to give me up, hoping I would have a better life than she could provide. She never married, never had any other children. The guilt of her decision had haunted her every day since. As she spoke, I felt a whirlwind of emotions: anger, sadness, empathy. I wanted to hate her for abandoning me, but as I looked into her eyes, I saw the same loneliness I had felt all my life. We were two broken pieces of the same puzzle, and suddenly, I wasn't sure who needed healing more. In the days that followed, we spent hours talking, filling in the gaps of our lives. She showed me old photographs, told me stories about my biological father, and explained the circumstances of my birth. It was overwhelming, but with each piece of the puzzle that fell into place, I felt a sense of closure I had never known. But the journey didn't end there. As I delved deeper into my origins, I discovered that my father had passed away years ago, never knowing about me. I found half-siblings I never knew existed, and a family history that was as complicated as it was painful. The more I learned, the more I realized that family isn't just about blood, it's about the connections we choose to nurture, the people we choose to love. My adoptive mother had been right. All along I was special, chosen, and loved beyond measure. But I was also something more. I was a survivor of circumstances beyond my control, a man who had found a new definition of family. It wasn't just about the people who raised me or the ones who gave me life. It was about the people who stood by me, who accepted me for who I was, and who helped me piece together the fragments of my past. In the end, I didn't just find my birth mother, I found myself. And in that discovery, I found a sense of peace that had eluded me for so long. Family, I realized, is not just about where you come from. but also about where you're going and who you choose to take along for the ride. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching.